Hi guys, today I just on reflection, I thought I should show you how to baste and cut the piece for the diamonds that we're gonna need, just to be a bit more thorough. And then we will start making our blanket. So I'm gonna thread my cotton thread that we talked about on our basting needle. That's the big long needle here. Okay. And I'm going to knot the end like I normally do. I like to wet the end of my finger and roll it. I just roll it and then pull it back. Oops, that slipped. Just roll it and then pinch it. And it usually makes a knot at the end for you. However you like to knot your thread, go for it. This is just gonna get ripped out after we put the quilt together anyways. So I am double knotting it just to make sure. Now my needle and thread are ready to go. Now I'm just gonna put this aside so it's ready. Now what I need is a diamond, my paper diamonds. Okay, I'm gonna set it on my, I've already cut strips out. Okay, I'm gonna set it on there. I want to leave at least 1/4 of an inch, like we were talking about in the previous episode, all around the diamond, so that way we can have plenty of room for sewing it. So that's pretty much it. You just want to make sure there's at least 1/4 of an inch all the way around this diamond. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and clip it with those clips. One on one side. Try to keep it straight if you can. Clip the opposite side. And the top and then bottom. All you're doing is just folding it over the paper at this point. And then clipping it back onto the paper. But you want right up against the edge of that paper. Okay, now we're going to tuck the corners in. So I take one piece off, make sure it's folded all the way up. I just put a little crease like that in with my fingers. And then I fold it down. Okay, and then I put my clip right over top of, oops. Put the clip right over top of that corner because it holds it and puts that crease in place for us when we're ready to stitch it. Okay, same thing with this corner. We're going to fold it all the way up to the edge and then pinch it over. See, that gives us a nice point on the other side. Okay, we're going to clip this in place. Okay, next corner, same idea again. Fold it straight up to the edge. Finger crease it. Fold this down over. Again, you got a nice pleat there. And last, same thing. And fold it up and then pinch this over. These tails should look like they're kind of almost at a 45-degree angle, or sorry, 90-degree angle. And there you go. That's what it looks like. Ready to go for basting it. Okay, so now we're going to baste it. This is pretty straightforward. Okay, it's the same idea as the hexagons, guys. Okay, I usually go in I don't go too close to the edge because remember you want to keep that room for your stitching when you sew the pieces together for the quilt. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and baste that. Remember, these don't have to be pretty. They're coming out and when we're done the quilt. Okay, now I want to make sure that the next stitch I'm putting in is up in both layers of the fabric, because that's going to keep that from opening up on us when we go to sew this together at the end. Now, because it's the corner, I always like to put a second piece up or a stitch through the top, not too close to the top, because again, you want room to work. Okay, there we go. It's in twice. Now we're going to put a stitch through the middle here. Come up. There we go. And we're going to take the corner clip off. Put it through right about here. And one back up through. Again, you want to make sure it's going through both layers of the fabric when you're at the corners, okay? Because again, it keeps it in place, and then you don't need the clips, obviously. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again here. Just the other side like that. Okay, and now we're going to put this in the 2 layers of fabric in the corner. Take that out. Push that through. Okay, and we're going to come back up through. There we go. And we're on to the last corner. To the side. Okay, and through the last corner here, guys. Okay. And up through here, and we're going to knot it off now, okay? I'm going to just put this through one more time because it's I just prefer to do that. And up through here one more time. And then I'm just going to pick up a little tiny piece of fabric just to make a little knot. So you can see that. Just doing that. Get close to the end. You're going to put the needle through that loop. Like so. You're going to pull it all the way through and tighten it. It makes a little tiny knot there, so it's unlikely to come loose. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty because it's coming out later. We're just weaving this piece in only through the fabric, not through the material on this one. We're just going through that one layer of fabric just to tuck the string in. Okay. Clip that off. So it's out of the way when we go to add it on. And there's our diamond. All right, now you guys are gonna need to know how to do the triangles as well, okay? Because you need one triangle for the top of the row of the quilt and one triangle for the bottom of the row of the quilt. Okay, so basically what we do is we take one of our diamonds. Okay, we're going to be very careful. We're going to fold it over. Okay, make sure it is perfectly even. You want that fold to be perfect, right to the 2 tips of each other. You don't want no side overlapping the other side. So it's literally a perfect fold in half, okay? And you're going to take it, you're going to cut it in half, so that way you've got 2 for the front and for the back. Cut that right straight down. Make sure it's right straight down the middle, guys. Perfect. Okay. And then we clip them on the same way that we did with the other pieces. If you find you got a piece of scrap material, black leftovers, you can use that. Or you can just go ahead and cut yourself a new piece. Okay? So this is the same, you're going to do the same thing. Okay? You're going to cut this with 1/4 of an inch on each side of the triangle. Okay, and you're going to wrap it around the way you did with the diamond. Okay, folding that over, you're going to put a clip on it. Okay. Clip on that side. And lastly, a clip on this side. And we're going to do the corners. Okay, fold the corner, making sure that the paper is folded up right up against the paper all the way to the edge. We're going to pinch that over the top. There we go. So we should have a perfect point on the opposite side. We're going to pin that. Okay, so again, you're going to fold it right up, give it a crease with your finger, and then fold it over the top. I grab this piece and push it over to here, so that way it holds that crease nice and tight for me. Now we're going to work on this corner, doing the same thing. Fold it over, slide that over, and last one. Here we go. Slide that over, and we're going to baste it the exact same way. So that's what your clipped piece should look like. And we're going to baste it. I'm going to go ahead, put a knot in my in my thread. Now I use, like I was saying in the previous episode, we use the cotton or polyester blends for basting, guys. Why? Because it's cheaper and you don't want to like have to be cutting off your good thread. Keep that good thread for sewing your pieces together. This thread is getting ripped out. This is only literally just to hold the paper into place onto your fabric. So that's why you're using a cheaper thread for that, okay? Because it's just getting cut out anyways. All right, let's get started on the triangle. The triangle. Okay, so okay, I like to come up again. You guys already know this. I like to come up through it a second time, making sure that it's through both layers of the fabric. Just to be safe, I'm going to go, whoops, it's too close to the edge. Right about here. Okay, we're going to go down, up. Okay, we're going to take that middle clip out. We're going to put that through both layers of the fabric again at the corner. So holding it all in place. And I put one more back up through. Okay, and I am going to go to my last corner. Taking that clip off again. And we're at the last corner, guys. We're just putting that through both layers. And this up through. And because it's the last corner, I always like to do one extra stitch. You guys already know that. It just keeps, I don't know. It's more likely that it's not going to come apart on me. So there we go. Just like that. And then you can put a little knot in if you feel like it. I always like to just do a tiny little knot. And just do it like that. And then I weave it through just the layer of fabric here, okay? And it's just to tuck your string away so you're not going to get it into your project when you're trying to sew the quilt together. Okay, so yeah, you just weave it through a couple of times, pull it through, and now you're going to cut that string off. Okay, and there we go. So now we have our triangle, okay, and we've got our diamonds. So you guys are going to need to do a stack of these and 2 of these for each row. Now, with the project that we're doing probably about 29 pieces of the hexagons, which we're going to be going to starting next, okay? Right now, your job, before you start the next video, is to get these pieces done, okay? I would suggest doing at least 20 of these, at least, probably more. I would imagine, I would do 30 to be safe, guys. Do 30 diamonds and do at least 2 triangles, okay? And then hexagons, do at least 30 of your hexagons, different colors. And that way we're ready to go for our project. I can show you guys what I've done so far with mine. I obviously have enough here to make probably... Ooh, dropping it everywhere. Just give me a second. So here's one stack with my colors. I've sorted them by color coded, basically. And I have... These ones were odd ones. I put them in a separate pile. I got all my green ones done. The stack is so big it can't get through it. It's not going to show up in the camera here. But needless to say, I've got a stack twice the size, and I'm ready to go. So tune in for the next episode, and we will start our quilt. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, and we will talk soon. Thanks. Bye.